I'm going to preview the number 17 Baylor at Kansas women's volleyball game, which will be played on November 16th at noon Central Time on ESPN Plus. There'll be live stats as well. And Baylor's coming over a 3-0 win against Kansas State. They have won 8 straight matches now in order to be 18-6 overall and 10-3 in the Big 12. While Kansas is coming off of a much needed win against number 18 TCU, 3-1 in order to be 21-3 overall and 12-2 in the Big 12. And I will say Kansas only lost 1 match at home, but anything can happen in any given match. And the thing about it is, Kansas is not invincible. They lost to Arizona State, which I get that. Arizona State's ranked, but then they lost to unranked Arizona, 3-2. So as you can tell, they're not totally invincible. I mean, it's just telling the truth. And this is a big match here because I really do think winner of this match for sure finishes second in the Big 12. I definitely know on the Baylor side of things. Now, Kansas, they do have BYU that's ranked, but at home left. But that's a team that's more like top 25, top 20. They're not really top 17. That's just down the line here, and we'll see about the rankings when it comes to that. Well, I know for Baylor side of things, this is literally the toughest match they have remaining because they have like Texas Tech and Houston at home next week, and the following week is Cincinnati and West Virginia at home. They should win all those. Should. Keyword. And I apologize for looking at it because I cannot memorize all this stuff. So as you can tell, and it's also a match of NCAA tournament resume here too, and boost the RPI up for both of these teams. I do think if Kansas were to win everything else except maybe the Baylor match, I think they might be still top 16. And they definitely needed to win against TCU because if they would have lost that and possibly this one, I think the top 16 hopes might be gone. Might be. And it all depends around the country too, I know, but you get the point. And I know for Baylor side of things, if they do lose this match, being a top 16 host, well, like chances is going to be harder, obviously. Though it could still happen. It's depending on other teams. And you don't want to really depend on other teams in all this. Okay. Without further ado, what are some players to keep an eye on for Kansas? And like I said, I apologize for looking down because I can't, or if I said it already, I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. So Reagan Burns, number 3. And I'll put the stats in the roster for Kansas in the description below so y'all can see it. 5'5" defensive specialist, slash libero, that's a sophomore. No kills on 8 attempts with 1 attacking error, 106 assists, which is the second most on the team, 15 service aces, 24 service errors, 14 receiving errors, 299 digs, 1 ball handling error. And I might as well mention Ryan Swanson in case he does play. Number 4, 6'2" outside hitter as a junior. 84 kills on 226 attempts with 23 attacking errors, 1 assist, 1 receiving errors, 14 digs, 20 blocks, 1 of the solo, and that's it. Then it's Bryn McGee, McGehe. Apologize if I butchered that. 5'6" defensive specialist as a redshirt junior. 1 kill on 2 attempts with 10 assists. 15 service aces, 39 service errors, that's a lot. 10 receiving errors, 178 digs, and that's it. Then I might as well go over Reese Patasek, Ptacek. I apologize if I butchered that. Number 10, 6'3" middle blocker, that is a freshman. 87 kills on 188 attempts with 31 attacking errors. 1 receiving error, 10 digs, 61 blocks, 8 of those solo and 4 blocking errors, and honestly is Toyosi Onana Bonjo, Onabonjo. J.O. I apologize if I butchered that. Number 11, 6'1" middle blocker that is a senior. 201 kills on 376 attempts with 45 attacking errors, 25 attacking errors, 4 assists, 2 service aces, 7 service errors, 29 digs, 93 blocks, which is the most on the team. 9 of those are being solo and 6 blocking errors. Then might as well go over Heidi Devers, number 6, number 12. And I do not know the injury stats for Kansas or Baylor going into this. I do not. Though it seems like Grace Carroll from Baylor has not been playing. But, it is what it is on that. A 5'4" defensive specialist, Libero, that is a freshman. No kills on 1 attempt, 4 assists, 9 service aces, 17 service errors, 18 receiving errors. 18 digs, and that's it. Might as well go over Zoe Burgess, just in case, number 13. A 6'4" middle blocker that is a freshman. 65 kills on 131 attempts with 22 attacking errors, 1 receiving error, 17 digs, 30 blocks, 1 of those solo, and 3 blocking errors. And there's Caroline Bean, number 14. A 6-foot outside hitter / libero, which I would think she's more of an outside hitter based on her numbers, and as a senior. 217 kills on 575 attempts with 67 attacking errors, 29 assists, 21 service aces, 11 service errors, 11 receiving errors, 264 digs, 37 blocks, 5 of those solo, and 11 blocking errors. And is Aya Elnady, Elnady. Apologies if I butchered that. Number 17. A 5'10" outside hitter as a senior. .271 kills on 774 attempts with 72 attacking errors, which is the most on the team in all those categories. 17 assists, 34 service aces, which is the most on the team, 32 service errors, second most on the team, 8 receiving errors, 218 digs, 22 blocks, 2 of those solo, and 1 ball handling error. And there's only 2 more players I'm going to merely mention. It's Lyndon Davis, number 21. A 6-foot opposite, that is a senior. 209 kills on 506 attempts with 64 attacking errors, 3 assists, 27 digs, 64 blocks, 2 of those solo, 7 blocking errors, and 1 ball handling error. And the last player I'm going to mention is Cameron Turner, number 22. A 5'8" setter that is a senior. 58 kills on 160 attempts with 7 attacking errors. 955 assists, which is most on the team. 12 service aces, 16 service errors, 250 digs, 49 blocks, 6 of those solo, and 1 blocking error. Honestly, what you did right last match, you got to bring it to this match, and what you did wrong last match, you got to correct into this one. You got to make adjustments on the fly, not from set to set, but during those sets. You got to stay resilient. If you're down it in a set, which you were against Kansas State in that first set, like at the media break, but then took over. Though it was a little tight, I know, in the first 2 sets, but that's besides the point. You got to win those long rallies, because it does make a difference in matches to win those long rallies. You got to win the jousting as well, if it comes to that situation, and don't have overpasses or free balls. And if nothing else, as much as possible, if nothing else, just play solid defense. And obviously, you want to force those overpasses and free balls, and you just got to take advantage of them. You got to, because you don't want to give them any chances here to continue the rally as much as possible. Obviously, you need to, if they do service errors, the Kansas does service errors, it's on them. Same thing goes for attacking errors and receiving errors, like an illegal back row attacks or net violations. Obviously, you want to not have any of that. Or of course, if they do foot fault, they do a foot fault. But you cannot have a foot fault and don't have rotation errors. But if they do both of those, it's on Kansas. I'm just telling the truth. You got to do a good job on side outs. I mean, you got to have good side out percentage and really have more digs than the other team, have more kills than the other team, have more blocks than the other team. You don't want to let them dictate that. You just don't. And I know we definitely served better than last match than the last few for some players. And I know Lisa McGee needs to just cut those service errors down. But if she could just do that, really help. And you got to serve tough. Just get them out of the system. I mean, don't let them pass the ball so well. I mean, it's just telling the truth. And don't. And the thing is, if they do service errors, it's really on them. And net violations, by the way, if you're outside the antennas, that's fine. I mean, to touch the net, but you don't want to chance it. And if there's a questionable officiating in this game, you just got to be resilient and be the more mentally tougher team and move on to the next play and keep your cool. I mean, you got to make plays to win at the very end of the day. I mean, just telling the truth. Okay, what else am I going to say? Oh, obviously you need to try to take away the best players for Kansas as much as possible. I mean, you got to try to, and if you could tell, hey, they're going to go here, shut that down. I mean, and try to make those best players on Kansas be effective in this match. I mean, it's just telling the truth, and obviously you want to have variety in offense. That way it's so hard to predict. It's like, oh, they're going to go over there? Nope, we're going somewhere else. Try to be more unpredictable. Of course, I know you could ride off with the hot hand, but eventually they're going to stop it, and you don't want to do that. Chance that. I mean, and of course you don't want to hit the ball like today at 10 and if you want to try, you need to limit your attacking errors because you do not need to give free points away to Kansas, to be honest, on the attacking errors alone. And you try, of course, set up the middles as well, get them going if you can, and get their confidence up, especially if it's a kill or and those middles definitely. I mean, the blocking needs to step up and shut down those attacks. I mean, just telling the truth. And literally, the pressure's on Kansas. They're at home. They're a higher ranked team. They're the better record team. But I would also dare to say they're not invincible either because of that Arizona loss. I'm just telling the truth. And let's get off to strong starts in each set if you can. And if you have a set point, put them away as quick as possible. And do not let this hang and drop. Let them come back to the point of bonus volleyball. And obviously, if it does that, you just gotta move on to the next play and get that next point. Same thing goes for match points as well. And I will say this, Baylor, let's go take the first set. And it's because Baylor is unbeaten when they take a first set in a match. And honestly, if you're up 1-0, trying to make 2 sets to none, if nothing else, get that third set to be up 2-1, and then finish them off in 4. And if you're down 2-1, you got to win that fourth one. I mean, and literally, you got to go into this match playing with a lot of confidence. And don't be intimidated by the crowd. And try to take the crowd out of this game as much as possible. Because you don't want them to feed the energy to the Kansas sidelines. I mean, to the sideline, wherever they're at during the sets. Because they move back and forth during the sets. I mean, like from set 1 to set 2, set 2 to set 3. You get the whole point. And seriously, and let's go out there, give our best shot, and show them who's boss. And seriously, this is a prime opportunity to be in the top 16 in the rankings again. And I don't get why you were not that for this week, because you beat Minnesota and you have a better overall record than Minnesota. But I guess it's because 1, the Big Ten's tougher, and 2, who you've been playing is not Big Ten and not as tough as a Big Ten. But come on, you beat them straight up. And obviously, if you're up in a set, like in terms of points, like 10-7 or 10-5, extend the lead and try to have scoring runs and try to limit those scoring runs for Kansas. in this type of game. And it's a revenge match. Because last year you lost to this team. This exact same team. Now you're playing with a lot more confidence. And you're not as banged up. And you were like, oh, we're down Kendall Stowers for this match. Yeah, now we don't have to worry about that. And most of the players that were on that team last year know the feeling of going to Lawrence. And we've been better on the road recently, so let's try to continue that trend here. And not only that, let's try to extend this winning streak, because this is the best time to play your best volleyball going into the NCAA tournament. And I will say this: if you do get this win, you need to take care of business in the other matches. And I'm not going to classify this as a must-win, but look, this is the best opportunity to get get a better chance to be a top 16 seed without relying on others. Do you really want to rely on other teams losing in front of you to be in our top 16? No. Let's take destiny in our hands. And I do think Kansas, no matter what, will be a top 16 seed, assuming they beat BYU in the other matches. But if they do lose this one as well as another one, then it's a different story. I think that might be not a good chance for them, but we'll see down the line for both of these teams. Let's go in there. Don't be intimidated. Play with a lot of confidence and swagger, and show them who's really the boss here. And this is also a good time to move up in the standings too for Baylor. You could be second in the conference with the win here. Kansas is going to stay second with the win, obviously. And I don't think they're going to lose those two unranked games they have left. And maybe they lose to BYU at home, but then again, who knows? And let's go send Kansas with their second home loss of the season here. And I will put the stats and the roster in the description below so y'all can see it. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 7 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So make money out this. Of course, like a video, comment video really helps YouTube background so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people could watch it. If you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe button. It's free the notification bell as well.